which aren't a sign of strength. It's just a sign of Republican weakness.
Do you know the folks that were killed that you mentioned? Do you know their names? You brought up numbers. That just politics?
This stopped being politics the second a war veteran started naming the cost.
Donald Trump's reckless and costly war of choice. And stop the ad hominem attacks, which aren't a sign of strength. It's just a sign of Republican weakness. This reckless and costly war was entered into without any plan, any objective, any exit strategy, any public support, and any approval of the United States Congress. Those are 5 different objective reasons to have a problem with what's going on in the Middle East right now. In fact, we're just trying to help Donald Trump bring to life his own words that as president, he wasn't going to start wars in the Middle East. He was going to stop them. Donald Trump's own words. Question his patriotism?
I want to thank my colleague for the speech that he just gave. Probably the most hypocritical speech that anybody could give. But I'm glad he gave it because the truth is I'm well prepared to answer for this. So let's talk about engagements against Iran. What's going on? This is not the first time that this happened. Joe Biden was engaged against Iran.
For like a year.
Why? Because of imminent threat. But let's examine the difference between when Joe Biden was engaged and President Trump was engaged. When Joe Biden engaged is because the Houthis, a direct arm of Iran, was attacking the United States of America's ships, merchant marine vessels, doing what they've been doing for decades, picking a fight. President Biden launched Operation Prosperity Garden against Iranian-backed Houthis, and that went on, not for 30 days, not for 60 days, not for 90 days, not for 6 months, went on for almost a year until January 2025, from November 23 till January of 25. And what happened during that time? How many times did my Democrat colleagues or Republicans offer a war powers resolution to say, remove all U.S. forces from this fight against Iran?
That basically sums up the entirety of the system that we are currently living within here. All right. The Democrats, in fact, just hate Donald Trump. Whatever his name is attached to, whatever he does, you send them into near stroke levels of high blood pressure. OK, whenever you mention his name or show a picture of him, basically. Just understand that by default. So when Biden was doing these things, of course, they had nothing to basically say here, right? Nothing. Why would they say anything? They back it because they understood it. It was needed. Like it was a requirement to fix this problem because we can barely go through the Strait of Hormuz or anywhere near Yemen without being attacked by the Houthis. Guys, all right? It is what it is here, guys. You had no problem when Biden was doing it. But of course, because Trump exists currently, this is enough to, again, send them into near stroke levels of hypertensive shock. But I digress.
I have the counter down here. It's 0. But before President Trump ever conducted any level of operation, Democrats introduced the removal of U.S. forces from hostilities with Iran. Today, again, doing another war power. What changed? What changed from not one war power from anybody to half a dozen? And I guess we're going to do another one next week. Politics. Everything that my colleague just talked about, his hypocritical remarks about we need to do these things, it's all politics. My Democrat colleagues are not paying attention to national security at all. They refuse to acknowledge the imminent threat that Iran has been, them killing our service members, them attacking us in place after place. They don't acknowledge it. When Joe Biden was responding to merchant marine vessels being attacked, it was okay. No war power needed. Went on for about a year. President Trump responds, war power, war power, war power, war power. Every week that they can do it. They tried doing it last week as well. That's the hypocrisy. My colleague brought up some of our service members that were killed. Take that very seriously. Seen it far too many times. That beautiful flag behind the speaker draped across caskets. Take it seriously every time. I personally believe that any time that a service member is killed, they should be lying in state, lying in honor here beneath the dome of the U.S. Capitol. I think they earn it more than anybody killed in action in defense of this country. That's my own personal belief on that.
Okay. I'll go a little bit harder, but we'll talk about that.
I would ask my colleague, do you know the folks? Do you know the folks that were killed that you mentioned? Do you know their names? You brought up a number. Is that just politics?
Yes.
I know
Yes.
I'm supposed to address the chair, but I'm happy to yield a little time to my colleague. Do you know the members?
No, guys, no, they don't know the names. They're just utilizing it as basically a prop or a pawn to kind of prove whatever point they're trying to prove here, without actually caring for the lives lost and protection of you, me, everyone. Understand that there for a second. So when I say I would have went just a little bit harder, when it comes down to like our service members, specifically those who fight for all of us, I'm in the camp of saying that they should probably never pay taxes. Like, if you want to find a way to get out of our crazy tax system, the smart play would be fight for us all. That's it here, guys. I mean, I think that if you specifically fight for the United States of America, you should not be paying taxes. I don't really understand that. I think you should walk around with a card specifically. So whenever you have to go pay for anything, you show your card, it gets scanned, right? And then what do we find out here? You have no taxes on any of your purchases, guys. I don't want you paying a single bit of tax, bro, at all. Okay, at all. I don't think so, guys. And also at the same time, there should be no such phrase as homeless veteran. That does not make any sense here. Oftentimes people in the comments are like, you're shilling for this here. Guys, not really. Understand this here. My level of like internal loyalty dictates to me, for me personally here, you live your life how you want to live it. If you fight for me, you back me, I will back you until the end of times, bro. Right? So when it comes down to the people who fight for all of us, I don't really think that, generally when they come home, they're treated as good as they should be. At least my opinion here. Let's get back to Hakeem Jeffries here for a moment here. His entire standpoint is rooted exclusively in partisan politics. Like, there's nothing more than partisan politics in him. 10 years ago, he didn't sound the way he sounds now. But again, this is more like a sign of the times here. This is just what the Democrat Party is today. That's it. That's just what they are. You don't like Trump, so whatever he does, even though, okay, you backed it 5 years ago. Understand this here. You backed most of the stuff 3-4 years ago. Like, go back and listen to what some of these people were saying about Iran. Please. Okay, just do that. You'll be like, oh, wait a second, they flip-flopped, didn't they? Yes, guys. All right, and it has nothing more to do with the fact that they hate Trump. Seeing Trump's face sends him into a near hypertensive, like stroke levels of blood pressure. Okay, that's what happens here. They absolutely lose their mind. So when Trump starts saying that there are people walking around with like TDS, that's it. That's it right there. Like, they cannot see the forest through the trees, my guys, okay? Even though they agreed with most of it. So I also want to point out one thing here. The veteran basically just said something absolutely intriguing about patriotism, okay? There is a gigantic lack of patriotism. There's a gigantic lack of like national security awareness, and there will be arguments in the comments over the statement here. And I'm fine with it. But prove me one thing here. If I am wrong about the modern left, I have no problem recanting statements here. I am not someone who is that stuck in my thought process that if you bring me brand new information that absolutely makes nothing more than logical sense here, I have no problem recanting a statement that I've ever made here. Okay, I'm not really prideful, if that makes any sense here. Because if there is any more to this story, we're definitely going to absolutely jump into it, bro. But until then, guys, listen, if you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. But in the meantime, guys, I'll go ahead and catch you guys later.